Yeah, in some ways it's a broken record. We're right there in the first half. Looking actually at the end of the half like we were the team that was going to break through and find the goals. A tight game. Obviously, it's always going to be on the road, and we have a couple good chances, good looks. Almost get a penalty, and then we give up a really soft goal. In the 40th minute. And that's kind of been the story. We're in every game. We're playing pretty well. It looks like we're going to score, and then we give up a poor goal. Where they somehow get a shot at the back post, and we spill it, and then we don't get around it, and somehow their guy pounces on it. And then I thought from there, guys got frustrated. Obviously we've had some frustrating games recently, so I understand it, but I was very disappointed in the interaction with Carlos and Xavi coming out of the half. Address that with them at halftime. That can't happen, shouldn't happen. Ultimately, we want guys to hold each other accountable. Carlos is the captain, and he was holding Xavi accountable, and I thought Xavi, in my opinion, should have just taken it. But he's frustrated. Sometimes guys, when they're not playing as well as they can play, they get frustrated. Instead of looking at themselves, they tend to snap back. And we've addressed it. We talked about it, but that was certainly embarrassing. And to some extent, I told him after the game that that probably spilled into the start of the second half as well. So it's just too emotional. It's another game where we got to be mentally tougher, because every game we're there. But because of mentality, again we give up the first goal and give up the second, and obviously there's a lot of things that were frustrating again in the game. But I don't know why that would surprise us, because that's been the story of our season. So. I'm the coach. It's my fault, so if anybody wants to blame anyone, it's blame me. Obviously, the players have to perform better too, but, at the end of the day, it's my job to help them perform better. And, I'm not getting the job done in the last several games. So I'm going to look in the mirror, and obviously we got a full week next week, and, we're back at home. So there's a lot to play for in terms of pride. And as I told the group, we're building for the future. I don't know where the playoffs are at. It's looking slimmer and slimmer. But I need to know who I can count on here at the end of the year. And, I want to see definitely a lot better on the defensive side, because I thought all 4 goals were too soft.
Okay, we'll get into questions. We'll go to Frank DeLappa. Frank?
Hey, Caleb, the last game you talked about this being a chance to maybe learn about the team with your backs against the wall in the last few games. Did that happen in this game, and what are you learning about the team?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were okay in the first half, Frank, and I think, when you've had a bad run or you've had some frustrations, that first goal you concede, it kind of just boils over. And, I think, we're letting some of the past frustrations, kind of come to light when we concede that first goal. And, I thought the red was harsh. Obviously, the last 2 goals were down a man. The game's over at 2-0 and down a man. But we have to handle, the frustration better. We have to. So those are things we'll talk about. Those are things we'll address. But I thought we saw some good performances, but not enough, especially at the back today. Which is why, you look at the stat line. I know late in the game we gave up a ton of chances, but up until the red, I mean, that's an even game. But the 2 goals we give up are not good goals, either one. And we've watched them already, and it's just, you go, how did we give up that first goal? And the same thing, we're pushing to get the tie, and their goalkeeper makes a couple saves, we get a few chances, and then somehow, we give up the next goal. And, at the back, we got to be better.
Next, we'll go to Sam Minton. Sam, you're unmuted now.
Caleb, you mentioned the red card. Obviously, there was also the handball moment in the first half. I guess just kind of what was the explanation from the officiating crew regarding that, why that handball wasn't called and why Dylan was given the red card?
Yeah, I talked to Ted Uncle during the game, and he said that you're allowed when you're on the ground to put your hand down to get up, and if it so happens that the ball hits your arm when you're putting your hand down to get up, then that's okay. Which makes me more confused than ever, honestly. I understand if you fall on the ground and you're trying to block, a shot or something, but the guy falls on the ground, and for me, I get the law, but if you're on the ground, it doesn't mean you can put your arm down and block a goal-scoring situation. So that explanation, I don't understand. But that was his explanation. And what I said to him is, we're just going to have our guys start playing crab soccer in the box, where they'll just crawl around on their butts and their arms, and if they block shots, with their arms, then I guess that's okay. So that's why it just doesn't make sense. I understand the law. I understand moments where, you're falling on the ground and you have to brace yourself for the fall. But when you're on the ground, the idea that you can use your arm to get up and block a cross in the box, that makes no sense to me. And I've never heard that before. But that's what he said.
Okay, we'll move on to Seth McCumber. Seth, you're unmuted now.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for taking the time. Can you just talk about Dylan Barrero? You said on Wednesday it was a coach's decision not to play him. He goes on tonight and gets a red card. 2 for dissent. What did he say, and how do you feel that he got a red card today?
I asked the official after the game. That's what I calmly asked him after the game, was why did he get a red card and 2 yellows? Was that worth it? And he said that Dylan was having a go at him, and he said that if he didn't address it, that he would get pressure from Pro. That's what he said. So, he admitted that he missed the call, and Ted Uncle also said that he missed the call. And I asked, well, if you miss a call, then players are going to be frustrated, so why give 2 yellows? I understand 1 yellow, but I don't understand 2 yellows when you miss the call. But also, to be fair, I don't know the exact wording that he used when he was having a go at him. So, but it would seem to me that a yellow would have been enough, especially when you miss the call. But that's just my opinion.
See one more hand up. We'll go to Andy Diasa from Yahoo Sports. Andy?
Thanks, Caleb. How you doing? You kind of alluded to this a little bit, but I just wanted to ask, what do you think the issue is with the mentality of the group? And in terms of the last few games of the season, what are you looking for specifically to end the season?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you've had frustrating things happen, they linger in your head, and not for every player, but for some players, that tends to become a pattern and a habit, and I think that has happened for some of the guys, and I think, again, we have to be stronger, because at 0-0, we're there to score the goal. Obviously, they're in a bad run. They hadn't won. They had 1 win in 11 and had lost the last 3. So it's not like they were full of confidence. And I really thought at the end of the half we were starting to find our way into the game, and we were getting chances, and we can't concede. So for me, it's a lot of it is the mentality to not concede, because we've conceded goals against the run. And the focus, the urgency to not concede, to keep us in the game until we can find the goal, hasn't been good enough consistently this year. Because when I look at that first goal, like it's not anything really we can look at and say, hey, tactically we got broke down. It's just kind of a focus thing, more than anything, and an urgency. When you rewatch it, they were just more urgent than we were to score that goal, and we were sloppy. So, it's just being stronger when it's 0-0 and the game's tight, to not make a mistake. So it's, guys at the back, I thought today, in general, weren't aggressive enough and focused enough. The 2 goals we gave up after we had the red, it's hard to really, break those down because you're down 2 goals and you're down a man. But the first 2 in particular, I thought were goals against the run, and those goals really hurt us and changed our mentality from there, which is to be expected because of the frustration we've had in some games. So it's a pattern we need to correct, and so we will correct it. I know how to correct it, but it's going to take some time, and I'll keep chipping away at it. I have to continue to do better.